I was urged to make this video because of the potential danger of remaining silent. For the most part, I don't like to make personal grievances that I've had with other people public, especially if they only involve me and the other person. But in this case, I feel that I need to. As some of you may already be aware, a number of women vloggers on YouTube have been harassed lately by certain users who tend to bother multiple females at once. Jackluck4 in particular exposed the guy who had been bothering her, and she's had a lot of support from other users. Many of that guy's sock accounts have since been closed, but he's still around, and a lot of people are keeping an eye on him. It's not so easy to dismiss people if they keep bothering you. You can keep blocking the person's accounts and wait until they lose interest in you and move on. But what if they don't? Do people have a right to harass other people on YouTube or any other forum? And what should YouTube do about it? We all are quite aware of the lackluster customer service that YouTube provides. So would YouTube be liable for death or injury if one user harms another user after consistent harassment? For instance, can the company be legally held responsible for the death of Asia McGowan when Anthony Powell, Tony48219, murdered her after bothering her on and offline for quite some time prior to the shooting? I think it's something worth looking into. Now, about a week ago, Linny, aka Defender of Reason, sent me a message warning me about a user who goes by several accounts: Ali Me Too, Aisha's Goat, Cave News, and probably a few others. He had been sending her threatening messages and following her around on YouTube. She blocked him, but she wanted to give me a heads up because he had mentioned me in some of the messages he had sent to her. Well, it turns out that I had already blocked him myself, because he had been sending me similar messages for quite some time. Literally at least a dozen per day. But I will say this, that guy is nowhere near as much of a concern as this next one I'm about to mention. RhymeWizard99 has been fixated on me for months, practically since I started uploading videos. He started out just sending messages occasionally, but I never responded because he believes in pretty wacky things, like the Matrix is real and the world is a hologram or something crazy like that. Over time, the number of messages that he would send increased to the point where some days he would send several in a matter of hours. These messages were filled with rambling, incoherent messages that were very difficult to follow. The basic gist of these messages is that he was expressing an infatuation with me, which seemed harmless at first. But he has gone past simple infatuation and crossed over into full-blown obsession, and it has to stop. I began to become very disturbed when he sent me this message on August 18th, in which he said, "I wish I could come up with something to get your hand in marriage, like your sister, LOL. When I received this, I realized that I was dealing with someone who was completely delusional. Marriage? Again, let me remind you, at this point I had not answered any of his messages. This is stalker mentality. I'm only 28 years old, but I remember when Robert Bardo murdered Rebecca Schaefer, the actress. He had been obsessed with her for years, and had convinced himself that they knew each other and were in some kind of a relationship. But when he encountered her in real life, and she expressed repulsion at his behavior, he killed her. So you can call this an overreaction, but to me, I don't take these things lightly." Now, a few days later, RhymeWizard uploaded a video entitled "I Call Dibs," which was directed to Richard Coughlin. He has since deleted this video, but in it he said that if it did not work out between Richard and myself, that he was calling dibs on me next. Now, to me, this was crossing the line, and I sent him this message. "I thought that never responding to your PMs would eventually make you get the hint, but obviously I was wrong. So I see that I'm going to have to be completely blunt. You creep me out. I don't know you, and I don't want to know you. I never would and never will be remotely interested in you. And how dare you call dibs on me? I am a person, not a thing. No one can claim me. And now that you have made a video, Richard is well within his right to publicly humiliate you in front of his 14,000 subscribers. And quite frankly, I have no sympathy for you if he does. Leave me alone." In the next message, he said he would leave me alone, but he couldn't even keep that promise for the rest of the day. RhymeWizard continued to send me bizarre messages, including one in which he openly fantasized about making Richard a video in which he details how I actually like him and how I'm only making Richard think that I don't. This was basically the final straw, and I blocked his Rhyme Wizard 99 account. And almost immediately afterwards, he started messaging me from another account, Jedi Rhyme. Blocked that one too. Then again from Sean99M, blocked that one too. Then the new Rhyme Wizard, blocked that one. And then earlier today, he uploaded on the new Rhyme Wizard account, again insisting that he is still infatuated with me, but this time making references to my having missed my flight to New Jersey last Saturday and concluding that I had done so on purpose. And not only that, but as I was preparing to make this video, right now, he opened yet another account, ominously called Gonna Get By Doing Better, and messaged me again, asking that I do not block him, which I did. What is it called when someone ignores the obvious disgust that a person has for him and keeps trying to contact someone who has made it more than crystal clear that she doesn't want anything to do with him? As I said in the beginning of this video, I don't like making personal grievances public when they only involve me and one other person. But I was reminded of the potential danger in not speaking up. Because even if Rhyme Wizard eventually loses interest in me, who else will he harass in my stead? And how far is he, or any other lunatic, is willing to take it? I tried ignoring, that didn't work. I tried being blunt in private messages with the intent on saving him some embarrassment, and that didn't work. So I see now that I have no other choice but to expose him as another cyberstalker. And I'm not going to say it again. Leave me alone.